If you are working at a painting, you are in control of the painting, but there is a point in which the painting takes a life of their own, and it really starts moving in somewhat a different direction from what you had in mind, what you had started. You and the painting really meld together.
It's like a dance. Like
yes.
you dance with that painting.
Music is the same thing. It's the same thing when you are together with somebody else. You can sometimes blend.
Yeah.
It's amazing how that happens. And the best way to do is to go with it.
I liked comic books from an early age, probably 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. I was drawn more to like horror comics and I guess fantasy and science fiction. In that world, there's also just great visual artistry. Your first instinct isn't that it's a painting. It looks like a photo, but you also can tell that no photo could ever look this good. It looks better than real life. You could just stare at it for hours and hours and hours, and I did. And I started seeing this name Boris attached to a lot of these images. I had been seeing Julie's books, and then I started seeing paintings that said Julie and Boris. I said, oh my God. Because I didn't know they knew each other. I didn't know they were let alone married, let alone painted together. I said, that is so badass. When has that ever happened? These forces going, you know, in life and in painting. It's just such I'm getting chills just talking about it. Then years went by, and I was asked by Revolver to be a host of their Golden Gods Heavy Metal Awards. They casually mentioned that there's gonna be this painting. I said, oh, it's these artists, Julie Bell and Boris Vallejo. And I just completely flipped out. I said, you're kidding? You hired that? It didn't even seem possible you could hire someone like that to make a painting for anything. I asked so many questions. How did you get in touch with them? You know, how is this possible? So you just can ask them. And I said, well, can I have their email? And he said, oh, sure. And all of it went like this.
I was 16 years old, you know, at the time. And he got me this bodybuilding magazine, you know, and I saw these people there in the magazine that are just like, what the hell is this? So I came here when I was 23, and I got to see a lot of the people that have been in magazines, you know, the actual bodybuilders. When I saw the fantasy art, I loved the thing, you know, these muscular warriors and these, you know, voluptuous females and so on and so forth. So I figured, that's what I want to paint. I joined also a gym here, you know, and I asked, you know, some other people if they wanted to model for me, and they were really more than happy to model, you know. I mean, these people work on their bodies, they want to show it off. At the time, you know, that I met Julie, that was many years later, she was competed as a bodybuilder. And I asked her if she wanted to model, she said, sure. So that's how we met. She told me, you know, that she also did art. So I said, holy cow, I can't believe this. And I fell in love with her.
I wasn't sure that they would like this idea. And when I saw the neighborhood, I said, oh, this is, you know, it's speaking, right? This is destiny calling out, saying, this is what you should do. You try to follow those instincts.
It was like, whoa, this is real different, you know, this is like not at all what we would have expected. You brought out the picture that you had of the book cover that Boris did from before, and when you're talking about that, I got it. I see the power in that. It's subtle, but, you know, right there at the same time.
I think this painting is going to have a lot of power.
It's going to be awesome, yeah.
It's going to have a lot of power.
Yeah. This is all acrylic paint right now at this stage, so this is just basically to lock in the pencil and establish the values of dark and light. And then after this, then we start going over it with oil paint, and then that's when the magic happens.
I hope people will look at this painting, this album cover, and say, I know that street, that they're already there. And they can smell it, and they can feel it, and they feel the air on their skin, and they hear the crickets and the distant traffic, the whole thing, to really transport them into this place, which to me, hopefully, is a place where anything's possible.